Hello, Steve Mills here, the Prudent Marketer. Welcome to this week's association video. Thanks ever so much for tuning in. And again, I'm here to show and share with you some tried, tested and proven ideas. Today I've got a story. It's a story told to me by a very good friend of mine, a guy called Peter Thompson, who I suppose he's a bit like me. He's a sort of business advisor. He works in the industry, helping other consultants to market themselves. So I've known Peter for many years, very, very switched on gentleman. So Peter told this story at an event that I went to, and it was a story about a coffee shop. And I'm sure we've all been in coffee shops now. It's amazing how coffee seems to have almost changed the way we socialise. You know, years ago I'd go down the pub with people. Now I go down the coffee shop with my friends. It's really weird. But in all seriousness, it's taken a massive share of that sort of social drinking market. The Starbucks and the so on and so forth. Anyway, Peter goes into this, I think he said it was in Birmingham, goes into this coffee shop, and he's just about to buy coffees and cakes and whatever else he was buying. And he noticed the tips jar. And, they have those little glass things or whatever it is on the counter. And the sign, instead of it reading something like, tips, a lot of them just say tips or thank you for your custom or something like that. It actually said sexy people tip. So Peter, being Peter, says, well, I better, give a lot then, give double or something. And, it was all done in very, very good humour. But, the serious note to that is that by changing the headline on the advert or the little notice at the back of the tips jar, they increased sales. And Peter, being Peter, said to them, let me ask you a serious question. How much of an increase, if any, has using sexy people tip made to the number of tips and the amount of tips you get? And the guy said, he said, you don't want to know. He said, we get about 8 times, 800% increase in tips from having a sign that read, thank you for your custom, to sexy people tip. Okay, and that's my serious message to you. Now, you're probably thinking, yeah, he's mentioned this before, and I have. This was, 10, 15 videos before when I spoke about the power of a headline. The headline is the advert for the advert. The headline is the advert for your homepage on your website. The headline is the advert for your email. The headline is the advert for your letters. The headline is the advert for when you stand up at a networking event and say, hi, my name is, and so on and so forth. But the question is, did you do anything? Now, I hope you did, and I'm going to assume that you did. And it's time to do it again. And that's my message today. So what could you do again? What could you do again to improve things? Because if you changed it like whatever it is 20 weeks ago, then, is it perfect? Have you been constantly testing right throughout to try and get the best performance? Because if you haven't, but you did, maybe you'd be improving your business even further. Because, it's all about, again, raising your standards and doing better. So that's all I'm going to leave you with this week. I know it's a quick one, but and by the way, when I say headlines, it doesn't have to be just headlines. If you take that web page, it could be. Let me give you an example from the cafe industry. You take the tips jar and move it more prominently, yeah, or you make the sign bigger, or you make it more colourful, or instead of it being a felt tip, handwritten sign, you make it look a professional sign. You make the bowl bigger, so it holds more money, or perhaps you actually put more money in it to encourage other people to do the same, and perhaps you have lots of pound coins instead of like 1p's in order to encourage people to do the same. Now, you know, it's just your version of that, really. That's what I'm looking for. You know, what could you do to improve the performance of your headlines? Yes, but also each and every element of your marketing, your copy. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is the copy on your website? You know, do you have lots of we's? You know, we do this and we've got X amount of experience and we are able to provide you with that, and we have loads of, you know, we've been established for over 50 years, and you know, that's what I call weing all over your page. You know, people we all over their pages. They talk about us. Your customer's got no interest whatsoever. It's not necessarily quite true. They might be mildly interested that you've been around for 50 years, but what they really want to know is what you can do for them. So change the we's to you's. You know, literally go through your website, and wherever you say we, see if you can say you. So rather than we have 50 years of experience, say you can benefit from over 50 years of experience. You with me? I hope you are. Thank you ever so much for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you again next week. Thank you.